The first step to solve equations with variables on both sides is to get the variable on one side. So in example 1, we have 4x plus x equals 6x. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides of the equation. So 4x minus 4x is no x. So I have 6 equals 6x minus 4x is 2x. Now I can divide both sides by 2. And we have x equals 3. It is always a good idea to check by substituting your answer back into the original equation. So I have 4 times my x that I found was 3 plus 6 equals 6 times the x that I found was 3. You can use a calculator for the check step, but I'm showing it. 4 times 3 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, and 12 plus 6 is 18. 18 equals 18 is a true statement, so I know that x equals 3 was the correct answer. This time I've got negatives, so if I want to get rid of negative 3a, I'm going to add 3a to both sides of the equation. So negative 3a plus 3a is no a. So all I have left on the left is 5 equals negative 2 plus 3 is 1a, and you don't have to write the 1. Oh my, we're already done. Let's go ahead and check. So going back to the original equation, I had negative 3 times the a value I found was 5 plus 5 equals negative 2 times the a value I found was 5. And so now negative 3 times negative 5 is negative 15 plus 5. We hope equals negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Negative 15 plus 5 is negative 10, which of course does equal negative 10. So my check step worked. And I am happy with my solution of a equals 5. I'm going to go to where c is the biggest, so I'm going to subtract 4c from both sides. I like my variable to end up being something positive. It's nice. So I've got 6c minus 4c is 2c, plus 1 equals 5. Then I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides of the equation, so 2c equals 4. Divide both sides by 2, and c equals 2. Once again, our check step, we're going to have 6 times the c value we found was 2, plus 1, we hope equals 4 times our c value, plus 5. So 6 times 2 is 12, 4 times 2 is 8, and 12 plus 1 is 13, which equals 8 plus 5, which is 13. Again, my check step worked. I'm happy with my answer of 2. I like my m value to be positive, so I'm going to add 3m to both sides of the equation. So I have 7 equals negative 2 plus 3 is 1m plus 1. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, so it's always undoing. So to undo plus 1, I'm subtracting 1. And 1 times m is just m. So we're done. So back to our check step. Going back to my original equation, 7 minus 3 times the value we got for m was 6. We hope equals negative 2 times the value I got for m was 6 plus 1. So we have 7 minus 18 equals negative 12 plus 1. And 7 minus 18 is negative 11. And negative 12 plus 1 is also negative 11. So again, my check step worked. I'm happy with my solution of m equals 6. The given figure is a square. So on squares, we know that all the lengths of the sides are equal. They say find the value of x. Okay, there's two different equations we could, well, there's a lot of different equations we can write. We can pick the one we like the best. I think I'm just going to do x plus 8 equals 7x minus 4. All of those sides are equal. I could pick anything I wanted. So first I said find the value of x, so I'm going to subtract x from both sides of the equation. So I have 8 equals 6x minus 4. add 4 to both sides of the equation. So I have 12 equals 6x, and the undo times 6. Divide both sides by 6, and we have x equals 2. Going back to the original equation, it's always a good idea to check. So I've got the value I found for x was 2, plus 8 equals 7, times the value I found for x was 2, is also 10. So my check step works. X is 2. And then they wanted us to find the perimeter of the square. I'm going to pick the easiest side to get a side. I like x plus 8. And we know x is 2 now, so 2 plus 8 is 10. So if one side is 10, there are 4 sides. So 10 times 4 is 40. They didn't tell us units. I'm going to say it's meters. Solve and check the solution again. So to get rid of minus 9b, I'm going to add 9b to both sides of the equation. Got a little bit crowded there. So the 9b's cancel out on the left. So I have 24 equals 4 plus 9 is 13b minus 2. Then I can add 2 to both sides of the equation. I'm undoing, subtracting. So 26 equals 13b. Then to undo times 13, I'm going to divide by 13. And I get b equals 2. We check the equation by replacing b with 2. And I have 24 minus 9 times 2 is 18. And 4 times 2 is 8. 24 minus 18 is 6, and so is 8 minus 2. I like it. 2 is a good answer. Okay, first thing we want to do is get our variable on one side. I'm going to add 11e to both sides because that's going to give me a positive e. So negative 11 plus 11 cancels out. That adds up to 0. They're opposites. So negative 13 equals 8 plus negative 4 plus 11 is 7e. Then we're going to subtract 8 from both sides of the equation. So I have negative 21 equals 7e, divide by 7, and e is negative 3. When we do our check step, every place there was an e, I'm going to put negative 3. Negative times negative is positive. 33 minus 13, I hope, equals 8. Negative times negative is positive, so plus 12. 33 minus 13 is 20, and 8 plus 12 is also 20. So my check step is good, and my answer is negative 3. To get my variable on one side, I want to subtract c from both sides. And you could put a 1 in front of it if it makes you happy. So c minus c is no c. I still have a negative 40 left on the left. 5 minus 1 is 4c, and I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and c equals negative 10. Check. So every place there was a c in my original equation, I'm going to put negative 10. So I've got negative 10 minus 40 is negative 50. It's already at negative 10, gets more negative. Positive times a negative is a negative. And yes, negative 50 equals negative 50, so negative 10 is my answer. To get our variable on one side, I'm going to subtract 7a from both sides of the equation, because 7a minus 7a is no a. So all I have left on the left is 39. 20 minus 7a is 13a. Divide both sides by 13, and a equals 3. And then we're going to check. Replace in the original equation where there was an a, I'm going to replace it with 3. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 39, and 20 times 3 is 60, and sure enough 21 plus 39 is 60 also, so I'm happy with my check step. My answer is 3. Again, they want us to find the perimeter. So I know since it's a rectangle that the opposite sides are all equal, and it looks like the easiest equation to set up would be 3x minus 5 equals 2x plus 10. Then I can get my x on one side, so subtract 2x from both sides. So 3x minus 2x is 1x, and we don't have to write the 1. And that's gone, so I have it equals 10. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides of the equation, and I have x equals 15. I'm going to check the little equation that I made. So I have 3 times the x value I have is 15, minus 5, I hope equals 2 times 15 plus 10. 3 times 15 is 45. And 2 times 15 is 30. And 45 minus 5 is 40. 30 plus 10 is 40. So my check step worked, and I'm happy. But I'm not done. They want the perimeter. So I need to substitute that back in to get my length and width. So I know x is 15. So my length is going to be 30 plus 10. So my length is 40. And my width is 34 minus, minus 30. So my width is only 4, that's crazy. So to do perimeter, I'm going to have 2 lengths and 2 widths. So 40 plus 40 is 80, 4 plus 4 is 8, so my perimeter is 88, and they said the units were feet.